Hello and welcome to the Tarkis Zone. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to be doing another video here with the game Crossout, and I'm actually just going to talk about a few things that I've noticed with the game. Now, I've played the game now a few days. I'm a little noob at it still, but there are some key things that I found that are going to really be helpful to you. So if you've just gotten this game or you're thinking of getting this game, I'm just going to go over a couple things. The first thing about your rig build here, you want to build something that is as defensive as possible, because you want to basically live as long as possible in the game. Because there's a couple reasons for that, not just for the sake of you just being alive, but you're an extra target for your enemies. So if you might have a person on your team that is really good, and if you can raise some havoc and stay alive the longest and take some aggro, or that person can do their job. I found that the longer I stay alive, even though I might be outmatched or getting ripped apart, just trying to stay alive. Key is survival. So if they're shooting at you and you got no guns left, you got three wheels, just try to get away. Just try to extend your life as much as you can to help out your teammates, because that's key. The other thing about helping out your teammates, don't run into them. I mean, this game, you're a noob. Occasionally you're going to run into somebody. That's going to happen. But don't run into people, especially your own teammates. Because a lot of guys run cannons, and if you bump them, you basically just mess them up. Those guys have to be somewhat stationary, and they've got to be very good at accuracy. And if you go by them and hit them, you've just messed them up. Also, you don't want to, I guess, when you go to hit somebody, like say you go to hit your enemy, get out of there. Okay, there is no reason to staying close to the enemy unless it's one-on-one and you're trying to pin them in a position where you're going to hold them. But if you've got people that are helping you, the worst thing you can do is be there, because they can't do damage through you. Okay, so let's say you're there, you've made contact with your enemy, you're pushing them against the wall, and there you are. You're the only one doing damage to them because your comrades' bullets can't go through you and they can't damage you, so it's only you. So what I would recommend is, if you're going to hit somebody, get in there, hit them, then get out of there, so that it frustrates me greatly, because I play a sniper class. I only get in close when I have to, and somebody will hold the person against a building, and I can't hit them because they won't back up, or they won't get out of there, and there's no reason for it, because you need some inertia to do the damage, right? So you want to, at least if you're trying to be a melee class, back up a little bit, then move forward. Back up a little bit, then move forward, and you're going to do the most damage in this game. But just to hold them there and hope that you're going to DPS them down. Now, if you're Uber, then that's great, but you've got comrades that can help you at that angle. Now, that brings me to another point as a noob. Try to use your comrades as human shields. Now, what I like to do is play my sniper class, but I'll roll behind somebody, not too close to them so they can't maneuver, but enough to hit the angle so that the person that I'm shooting at, the enemy I'm shooting at, would have to go through my comrade before they can hit me. So it might sound a bad way strategy, but it keeps you alive longer. There's no point of being on the edge a little bit, taking maybe shotgun damage, where you could have just backed up a little bit and taken no damage, because you can't hurt your comrade. So when you're trying to slice your bullets past your ally to hit the enemy, just angle it right, and you'll take no damage. Your ally will take damage from the fire. But I try to do that all the time. I try to hide behind my allies, and I try to shoot from angles. Now, that's the way I like to play. And there are people that build melee tanks, meaning that they want to get in close. Well, if I see them up close, I'm trying to maneuver angles so that they're always between me and the enemy, so no random shot can hit me. So you want to make sure that you're really thinking smart with this game, and try to use buildings covers for your advantage too. Sometimes I'll get on a corner of a building and I'll snipe, and then when they pinpoint me, I'll just back off the corner, and then I'll wait a few seconds. A lot of times they'll come at me, which is fine, because again, close battle to me with this rig is not that bad. I mean, I can really hold my own in melee combat with this rig, and that's why I built it the way I did. I mean, I really do a lot of melee damage, contact damage, meaning that you're running into people. Plus, I can do my weapons damage because of how I've gotten the weapons put together. I have found that this build here has helped me quite a bit to stay alive longer, packing up a lot of defense in the front, packing up a lot of defense in the back. I don't try to give my side to my enemies all that often because of the angles of my guns, and you want to always try to keep moving if you can. Don't be stationary, don't be a noob and stop, unless you're using a cannon, or unless you've got positioning where your allies are keeping them busy and you can just sit there and snipe. But if somebody is actively shooting at you, you want to try to keep moving. And again, when I say keep moving, don't go nuts and drive into your allies while you're trying to get away from fire. I mean, that is so frustrating that because you're knocking people, they've got their angles, they're shooting the enemy just like you are, and when you knock into them, you just mess them up. And then you can get into what I call a spider web, where you can't get off the guy. So I've watched games where 3 of my own allies is like a TP in the air because they all hit each other, and it took them forever to get off each other, and then they're just wasting people's time because they could be in positions where they could be doing damage to the enemy. I mean, you just got to really think about what you're trying to do. You're trying to cap a base and kill the enemies. If your comrades don't know what they're doing, then it can make a game pretty frustrating. And there's a lot of games I've lost because of newer players not getting it, not understand. I mean, I was in a position where I had my own ally, I was in a perfect position to shoot some guy. My own ally pushes me off a cliff. I'm like, what? And sometimes I think there are trolls. They're deliberately entering the game without really caring if they're doing anything or not. They're trolling you, which is, you'll get that. But you'll notice in the first 8 or 9 seconds, before you even get to the end, if you know you're going to win or not, because you can just watch the builds around you and watch how they drive. I mean, it's like every single time I see a bunch of noobs drive into each other, I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, let's just make this match go away. And I've never won a match where I've noticed that. It's like, I don't mind newer players, but you've got to really understand that running into people, pushing them around, and then running into the enemy and then blocking all lines of fire, those are just noob mistakes, and they get frustrating quick. And your elite players are knowing that kind of information, so they'll just rip you apart. The other thing you want to do with this game is always carry a fuel barrel. I've got one here protected. Now, you've seen people put them on the side of their car. If you see a fuel barrel on the side of someone's car, just aim for the fuel barrel and they're done, because the fuel barrel will blow them up. So what you want to do is you want to protect it a little bit. That fuel barrel is key to this game. And I know, it's a slot on your rig that it takes up a space. But that fuel barrel, every time you win a match, you have an RNG chance to pick up fuel. And that fuel is used to do raids. You need to spend fuel to do the raids. The raids are the bread and butter of moving forward in this game. You can really get a lot of reputation doing the raids. You can get some nice random roll drops, RNG drops. It's really fun too. And like I said about the fuel, I've got 60 of 200. I used most of my fuel last night during the XP reputation bonus. At 8 o'clock Eastern time, it looks like I get a rest bonus, and I do my missions then, because you can milk a lot of reputation out of the missions. You really can. And you can get like a 3,000 reputation score out of one of these raid missions. And the other thing is the loot drops for the raid missions are pretty good. You get some copper and you get these coupons. And as you can see on this one, I did this one. I got all the coupons I can get. I did this. I got all. I think cargo race. I even got all the coupons I could get last night. So that's why I haven't really done many more raids today, because I've already maxed out the rewards for that. But that is a good way to make some good reputation points in this game. Well, I just wanted to make this brief video just to share you some more of my thoughts about the game. I'm really enjoying it. It's been quite fun. Well, thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkis.